Well, did we find our new Superman? There have been multiple reports going around about a potential casting for the new DCU. But once again, the man, the myth, the legend, James Gunn has chimed in and, being the bane of all scoopers, set the record straight. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about this most recent Superman report, what's going on, and what James Gunn himself had to say about it. Now, before we do all this though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We want to be your place for all the DC and Marvel news, but we want to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are actually in the know. Well, as you know, James Gunn has kind of put us in a new age for superhero fans, and scoopers on the internet are really having a tough time about it because James Gunn is really not having a lot of their nonsense. Now, we do know that James Gunn and Peter Safran are working on that 10-year plan, and we know Superman will indeed be the first offering in this new DCU that Gunn and Safran are going to bring us. Now, we've gotten a couple of details about what Gunn has in mind, including going with a younger actor and him being a young reporter in Metropolis, so this really does give you a setup of what we're going to get. It's not going to be an origin story, but clearly it's a fresh take on the character and the premise for this new DCU. Now, the big question has been since we found out Henry Cavill wasn't playing the character was, who will be the new Kal-El? And yesterday, a gossip site named Deuce Moi actually posted that a frontrunner had been found from the land down under. Now, according to this initial report, Jacob Elordi, who's probably best known in the States for his time on Euphoria, was the frontrunner to play Clark Kent in the upcoming DCU reboot. Now, this got the internet abuzz and got people asking a lot of questions, but it seems like that was more than a little bit premature, because James Gunn did not hesitate in chiming in on this. Now, a Twitter account named Super Film News actually just reached straight out to Gunn and asked him about this casting, and what Gunn had to say was pretty interesting and gave us an idea of what's going on. Now, the post reads, Jacob Elordi is rumored to be James Gunn's Superman for the DCU. Thoughts? With James Gunn replying, my thoughts are no one has been cast as Superman yet. Casting, as is almost always the case with me, will happen after the script is finished or close to finish, and it isn't. We'll announce a few things in not too long, but the casting of Superman will not be one of them. Now, I'd like to comment once again, I love this new era that we live in, getting some direct answers from a studio head and debunking rumors and people just kind of making stuff up. Now, overall, I don't really think Elordi would be a bad cast, and it would have been very revealing to see him casting a 25, 26-year-old actor as Superman as far as his greater plan will be and what the new face of the DCU would look like. Now, as far as James Gunn goes, we have to take a lot from what he said here. First and foremost, no Superman has been cast, so clearly this rumor is not true. Again, Elordi could make a great Superman, and he may very well be cast, but they haven't even entered the casting stage yet, so this is very similar to all those Fantastic Four rumor castings that turned out to be complete bunk. Now, I do think there's a lot of other stuff to take away from what James Gunn said there, though. First and foremost, he says he doesn't do any casting until the script is done or almost done. Now, not only could this apply to many future projects we're going to see in the DCU, and give us ideas of when to expect those castings, it does kind of reveal where the Superman script currently must be. He made it pretty clear, no castings until it's done or almost done, and the script doesn't qualify as either, so more than likely it's in the initial weeks of development, and might even still be on page 1 since we haven't gotten the official announcement yet, and we don't really know what Gunn has officially pitched to the brass over at Warner Bros. Discovery. Now, we have gotten some reports that Gunn is pitching that this week, and we might potentially get an announcement of his plans next week, but I don't really expect the commissioning of a script before the projects are fully approved, so this means we're going to be waiting quite a while before we actually get casting news for Superman. Now, again, we know Gunn is going for somewhat of a new universe with younger actors and actresses filling the roles. We don't know exactly how many of the original DCEU characters will be recast. Some of us think possibly all of them, but clearly this new direction is going to manifest around Superman, as the DC universe should, and this initial step is pretty important. Now, what we get in Gunn's initial announcement coming in the next weeks, we'll have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure Superman will be front and center there, maybe even a title for the movie, but again, no castings will be put into that group. I do suspect he'll announce a couple of other movies, along with at least 1 or 2 animated projects and direct-to-streaming projects that'll support this new phase of this new DC universe. I also think these are probably in addition to projects we already know about. We know Colin Farrell's Penguin is in the works, and we also know Peacemaker Season 2 is going to happen. So how Gunn fits all these pieces together, we're going to have to wait and see, but it is a pretty exciting time to be a fan of DC Comics.